All right. I'm gonna do a fall fertilizer video today. How I do my fall fertilizer, what I use. Had some folks ask me. So, but before we get into that, this is the KBG. Just want to update you on that. Basically, all the bare spots is about filled in. New grass, had to put new grass. There's still just a touch right there, but that's gonna definitely fill in, and all these spots over here. But I hadn't mowed it in about 3 weeks because I've been letting the seed come up. But you can see all the new little babies coming in here. So this has been a chore right here, to say the least. But we finally won, I believe, on this. So I'll take you over here, give you an update on the fescue. Fescue's looking good. After the aerification, still got some dirt turds going on here a little bit. Got some birds that keep digging in my yard here. That's starting to get a little bit aggravating. I guess they're trying to store up food for the winter time. It's the only bad thing about pulling cores is they get matted down in the grass, and I absolutely despise that, especially where it stays a little bit wetter. So I try to pick them out that's matted down, floof the grass back up, because it just makes a mud turd basically where the mower runs over it. But there's the fescue. I haven't applied a lot of nitrogen this year. I'll just be honest with you. My intentions are to get with it, but it's been fairly warm, so I haven't been hammering it like I normally do this time of year. So stick around here and I will go over what my plan is and what I'm using. And I want to add this in here, so if this video is a little scattered around, I apologize. But so why is the fall the best time to apply the majority of your nitrogen? Well, for one, the spring, you don't need it. The grass is, actively going crazy just because of the temperatures. And what you're trying to do in the fall is, get nitrogen in the soil, and the plant's going to store it, and over winter, and then the next spring, that's you're going to get your green up from the fall fertilizer apps. So that's one reason why I like to apply a slow release throughout the fall until it gets real cool, because the plant's going to take that up and store it, and then you're going to see a better green up come the next spring. So spring is not the time to pound it with fertilizer, and I've went over this in other videos. You just don't need it in the spring, but fall is the time to do it. In the fall, when it starts getting cooler and cooler, the top growth is not going to be so much, but those roots are going to be growing. So needs food to get those roots going. But I just wanted to add this in here. You know, why fall is the time to apply nitrogen. All right, first I apologize. You're gonna stare at my black stone right here. The sun's glaring when I'm making this video, so to keep the sun out of my eyes and your eyes also. So everybody keeps asking about the nitrogen blitz. I don't know what's classified as a nitrogen blitz. I don't know if that's some kind of new terminology, fancy terminology or not, but typically for cool season grass, fall has always been the time to apply nitrogen. Like I said, I don't know what's classified as a nitrogen blitz, so I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. I'll just be honest with you. But this is the way I do mine. Typically in the fall, from overseeding till the end of the season, I normally apply about 2 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. So, you know, I overseed at the end of August. I sprayed 1/10 of a pound of 2900 at overseeding. That's a slow, 50% slow release fertilizer. 1/10 of a pound is what I've done. And then since overseeding, I've applied, what have I applied? It's about a half a pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet of this Winterizer 21016. This is a 58% slow release. This is it's IBDU based fertilizer. So what this is it's a controlled release fertilizer. It doesn't have to have soil temps, even though I'm still fairly warm. Doesn't have to have soil temps to work. This is actually based off of moisture, how this releases nitrogen, moisture, and then, you know, what the grass is actually needing. So I applied a half a pound of that. So that's 6/10 of a pound, and I have recently started applying a little 1834 at 1/10 of a pound per 1,000. I think I've sprayed that 1/10 of a pound. I do it every 2 weeks. So I've applied what, 0.5, 0.1, and 0.2. So 8/10 of a pound of nitrogen since I overseeded, and I overseeded at the end of August. So just depending on how long the season lasts, you know, if it stays warmer, I may apply more than 2 pounds. I typically try to apply 3 to 3.5 pounds of N per year, and the majority of that comes in the fall. So is that a nitrogen blitz? I don't know. Like I said, I see a lot of these folks throwing out nothing but ammonium sulfate and urea and stuff like that, and I just you know, I don't agree with it, especially for my temperatures. I would rather have some slow release in there while it's still decently warm, and we'll get into the quick release stuff right here in just a minute. But I may do one more app of that, the 21016 being it's, you know, 58% slow release. That way it'll be in the soil for the winter. So I applied a half a pound of that. I may do another half a pound of that also. So we'll just have to see on that. Not completely sure, because I do have a new fertilizer that I'm going to be showing you. And it's going to be my Winterizer fertilizer. So, but yeah, I mean, there's not a, you know, my season goes from after overseas, the end of August, so September, October, November, most time into the 1st of December. So basically 3.5, 4 months, and I'm applying, around 2 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000. You'll never see me apply any more ever than a pound of nitrogen at a time. It don't matter what it is. I don't even like to do that. I typically apply granular at 1/2 pound per 1,000, and then I spray these at 1/10 of a pound per 1,000. So this is the new granular that I got. Pete was gracious enough to send me some of this. Wanted me to try it, so this is what I'm going to use for my Winterizer, and it's all fast release, ammoniacal, urea. It's got some biochar in it. I think it's 40% biochar. So this is what I'm going to be using for my Winterizer, and I will probably apply this mid-November-ish, I would imagine. So it's coming up. I'm just waiting for the temps to drop a little bit, and I'll probably apply that at 1/2 pound to 3/4 of a pound in per 1,000 square feet, and that'll do it. This is not going to last, a long time, being it's all quick release. Now this, the one I just showed you, the slow release, the IBDU based, it could last 3 months in the soil, and just gradually use it as it goes. But these two right here, ammoniacal, urea, this is where you're really gonna see color response and growth. And this is why I don't agree with applying a fast release for just the so-called nitrogen blitz. I mean, unless you want to mow 3 times a week, and if it's still warm and you're throwing all that nitrogen to it, you're just asking for disease. It's plain and simple. You're asking for disease if it's still warm like it is here. So that's the reason why I use a slow release until it cools down, and then I'll start using the fast release. If the highs are in the 60s, lows in the 30s, 40s, I'm completely fine with applying this. Even highs in the 50s. You're going to see something out of this right here. And when I mentioned this 1834, this is fast release, but I'm only applying a 1/10 of a time, 1/10 of a pound at a time. So this is ammoniacal, nitrate, and urea. So I have started working that way a little bit as the temps have cooled off, and then I'll do this for the Winterizer when the weather allows me to do it. Hope I don't make Pete mad. I mean, I am going to use it 100%. I have certain ways I do stuff. He has certain way he does stuff. And in my opinion, I feel like this, for me, is a better fertilizer for later in the fall or very early spring when the weather's good and cool. You're going to get a hell of a response whenever you use it, either way. So it's going to be a good fertilizer. I can go ahead and tell you that. You're going to see some deep green growing grass. It seems like a good price point also. So, but yeah, that's about it as far as the way I do it. It's nothing magical. It's just I have a certain way I do it, and a certain type of nitrogen that I apply at certain times. I just don't go buy something and throw it down. I mean, there's a reason why I do it like this. So, and you know, some folks may disagree with this, and that's okay. I mean, it's just the way I do it. There's more than one way to skin a cat, but anyway, however you choose to do it, just make sure you calibrate it correctly when you do it. That's all I can tell you. Don't want to go putting down too little or too much, especially too much with something like this. I mean, this could potentially, I mean, if you're, you know, it could potentially burn, especially if you ain't got water. So something like this, you know, any of these granular fertilizers, they need to be watered in, but something like this needs to be watered in pretty quickly. So I will say that, being it's all a fast release and you know, 30% nitrogen in the bag. So I want to address one more thing before I get off here. You know, the season's winding down. The videos are going to start dropping off, and I'll just be honest, the last 3 videos I've done the views have been terrible. It's pretty disappointing, to say the least. I mean, I thought at least 2 of them were fairly good videos, and I mean, they just sucked. So I would appreciate it if, you know, my subscribers would at least watch my videos. You know, looking back on the analytics, there's not any subscribers watching, and I'll just be honest. If I can't get any more views or get the views that I'm accustomed to getting, I'm not going to keep doing this. Just plain and simple. It's not worth my time to do this. I don't hardly make any money on it. I've got, by the time I film a video and edit it and all that, I mean, there's, you know, a couple hours in each video, and the amount of views and stuff I got on the last few, it's just been bad. So hopefully the views and stuff will pick up, and like I mentioned, you know, the content's it's gonna come to a winding down halt before long. I mean, they're just, you know, the season's coming to an end. So as always, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.